Today is about you. I know what it feels like to sit on a bench. I know what it feels like to get knocked down. I know what it feels like to have a hope and a dream. And nobody believes in it but a few people. But here's what I know. Pro athletes have an off season. Why not you? Have you ever thought about it? When you watch professional athletes, they are bigger, stronger, and faster. And they get a chance to live a dream that they dreamt about when they were little kids. They get 5 months off. Could you imagine what you could do with your life? If you got 5 months off and you made enough money where in these 5 months, you can totally not work in your business, but work on your business. Not live in your family, but work on your family. Okay, here's the reality. You're probably not a professional athlete. And of course, you are not going to get 5 months off. But I want to introduce you to the concept called the off season. And one thing I experienced as a professional athlete, my off season was sacred. And that's the only way I made it to the NBA, because I wasn't good enough just on natural ability. So my off season is when I really got to work. And that's when I made my move on my competition. And that's when I took an average talent as a college athlete and turned it into a pro. So without an off season, I wouldn't be here today saying I'm a former NBA player, to be honest. So off seasons to me are sacred. I was on a plane just yesterday, and a very successful business guy was sitting next to me. This guy's an entrepreneur, founded a company, and he was making millions. And as he talked further, he talked about how successful his company was. And I began to ask personal questions. Are you married? Do you have kids? And upon further review, he was married and had 2 beautiful little girls, 6 and 8. And he began to reveal to me that, you know what, although he's very successful, it really bothers him that every single week, he's out of town from Sunday through Friday, which means he only gets 1 day a week to spend time with not 2, but 3 precious ladies that's in his house. And he began to realize, as I shared the off-season concept with him, he was like, you know what, Walter, I'm very successful, but I need an off-season because I need to figure out how to spend more time with my wife and my beautiful daughters. Because he made a statement to me, and this is when the light clicked on. I says, why do you have to go to the meetings every week? Can't you type in Skype sometimes? He says, you know what? My clients need me, and I'm afraid if I'm not there, I'll lose my client. And I asked him a simple question. You can get another client, but you only have 2 little girls. And I think that broke the mold. I think when he heard me put it in that reference, he realized that, you know what? I need the off season. So here's what I want to do. This is going to be a 2-part program, because I think this program is so important, because I'm here to tell you my life changed with my off season. And I'm going to work with this guy on the plane, and I believe he's going to create the life that he dreams about. But the only way he can do it is by taking an off season. And the illustration I want to give you, because if you're frustrated with your life, maybe you're like him. Maybe you're very successful in business, but somehow you spiraled out of control. Or you might be the exact opposite. Your personal life might be awesome, but you're really lethargic and you're lacking that direction, and you feel like you're underachieving professionally, financially, and you need to go to the next level. So whether you're very successful making a bunch of money, or whether you feel like you're underachieving, an off season's for everybody. An off season is a chance for all of us, regardless of your level of success, to take some time, not to work in your business, but to work on your business. So this is going to be a 2-part program, and phase 1 is very important. I want you to understand there's 9 phases of an off season. So part 1 is simple. The first phase of an off season, a professional off season, is to make sure that you have hope. You know what? If you lose hope, you'll stop working. If you lose hope, you start persevering. If you lose hope, you will wake up in the morning and just go through the motions. If that is you, you need an off season. An off season is a simple chance for you to hit that treadmill button and not say stop, but just say pause for a moment. We live in a treadmill world, and that treadmill keeps running until you stop it. But I'm not even saying stop the treadmill. I want you to hit pause just for a second and take some time and to work not in your life, but to work on your life. and get your hope back, that you can have the life that you dream about. Phase 2, you need to be able to assess where you are. My cabin mate on this plane assessed where he was. He's very successful in business, but somehow he's allowed his business to spiral out of control and totally control his life. What is your personal assessment? You know what? In professional sports, all the athletes get assessed, the roster gets assessed, and also the front office personnel gets assessed as well. And if you're not doing a good job in sports, guess what? You get fired and you get replaced. So in sports, you can't afford not to get better. So in the off season, it's so important to an athlete. But I want you to think the same way. You can't afford not to get better, because if you don't get better, all of a sudden you can become expendable within your company. If you don't get better as a company, all of a sudden the competition can pass you by. So regardless if you're listening in this video as a company executive who's leading people, or you're just an individual looking for help, we all need off seasons, because off seasons is the only way we can get bigger, stronger, and faster. It's the only way we can get our hope back. When the season ends in sports, everyone gets hope again that next year, maybe we can win a championship. Phase 2, after you assess, phase 3, you got to schedule an off season. Now, this might be your trickiest part. You might say, well, Walter, can I get 5 months off? You can try, but if you take 5 months off, that job won't be there when you get back. Now, let's be realistic. How can you take an off season? You're busy, but you know what? You know Rule 168. I say it all the time. Rule 168 is simple. You have 168 hours in a week, so you have plenty of time to get everything done. Many professionals don't even take vacation days. We fight for these vacation days and then don't use them. Maybe your off season is about you finally taking a vacation day, or maybe 2. Can you even believe that? But you need some time to get bigger, stronger, and faster. So if you can't use vacation days, maybe you go to work an hour early, and maybe you stay an hour late for the next week or 2 weeks. And each hour, you're not working in your business, you're working on your business. And after you get the 9 phases, I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to do to have a successful off season. Maybe it's Saturday morning. Maybe you figure through the week is tough. Maybe after work and vacation is not realistic. Maybe every Saturday morning you wake up, go for a run, come back, have a cup of coffee, and from 10 to noon, right before your favorite football team kicks off, you take that time, consecutive Saturdays, and have your own off season. Go to a quiet place, and all I want you to do is work on your world. Phase number 4, after you've scheduled your off season, and this is the final step in the first phase, is to think. Our mind is a muscle. And the most beautiful thing about an off season, once you hit pause on the treadmill, you just take some time to think. Think about how you can incorporate maybe working out back into your life. Think about how you can gently massage your life to get more balance, where you're successful at work and maximizing your opportunity at work without compromising your family or your kids. Maybe you can think about how you can use your resources to become a volunteer. You know, this is your life. And I want you to make sure you take an off season that works for you, but you gotta take one. But you can gently massage the world that you live in and become a world that you're happy to live in, and a world that doesn't control you, but that you control. You see, an off season is not just for athletes. An off season is for anyone who's trying to get bigger, trying to get stronger, and trying to get faster. I'm pulling for you, I'm rooting for you, and I'm telling you what, I could not have ever had any success without an off season. And I'm pretty confident that you can't either. Michael Jordan had an off season. Magic Johnson had an off season. Professional athletes don't work in their business, they work on their business in their off season. And that's why we enjoy them so much, because they are the epitome of excellence in sports. But I want you to be the epitome of excellence in your industry. And so instead of going to the ball game complaining about the price of admission, let's learn the real lesson that these athletes got here because of their off season. And I want you to know your dreams can come true too, but it begins with an off season. Make sure you tune in to phase 2, because in phase 2, it might get a little tough. Phase 2, it's going to be some heavy lifting, but make sure you stay tuned, because because together we're going to do this all-season thing together, and together in peak performers' life, we're going to get bigger, stronger, and faster, and we're not going to quit until we're number one. When I hear the sound of that whistle, it takes me back in time when I learned how to become a peak performer. When I played college basketball, my coach would blow that whistle and he would call all my teammates in, and in this huddle, he would motivate us, he would inspire us, he would teach us, he would correct us, and the reality is this: he called my name more in that huddle than anybody else's name. Here's why. He saw tremendous potential in me that was trapped and buried, and he wouldn't let it die in me, and he brought it out until I became an NBA player. In that huddle, I learned how to develop and become a peak performer. I learned two things: that peak performance is a process, but most importantly, peak performance is a team sport. I would not have reached my potential without my coach investing time and energy into my development. So here's what we've done for you. We created what we call Peak Performance Huddle. In this huddle, we want to do the same exact thing. We want to motivate you. We want to inspire you. We want to teach you. We want to even make you laugh. But the bottom line, every ounce of potential on the inside of you, I'm coming to get it, and I'm not going to stop until we pull it out. In this huddle, we're going to have webinars. We're going to have success tools. We're going to have interviews with successful people. We're also going to do phone calls, live phone calls, where you can hear my voice live, ask me questions, because in this huddle, the number one job, my number one job, is to help you reach your potential. We have two choices. You can do the automated coaching program, which is very cost effective. It can be available to you 24/7, 365. Or another option, you can do a huddle that's one-on-one with me. That's right, me and you, one-on-one, and we're not going to stop until you reach your potential. Your job, your only job, is to make it to the huddle. If you make it to the huddle, we'll do the rest. Sign up and register and get to the huddle, and Walter Bond will be there waiting on you, and we're going to help you reach that potential that's inside of you.